Here we are, starting to work our way into this new normal.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
Actually, it's not so bad. Coming out of our houses, social distancing, wearing masks. Actually, I kind of like that part. I feel like a sexy bandit. Except, sometimes I forget my pants.
What the hell?
The point is, we're all going to get through this. Take care of each other. Be considerate. Wash your hands. And remember, Toxic Radio is here for you. We'll rock you with the music and entertain you with the shows. We'll make it just a little easier to adjust to this weird new world.
I love you guys.
We're not going anywhere, and we appreciate you being along for the ride.
Enjoy your pants.
Oh yeah, you betcha. Remember, play life safe. Play your radio toxic. Hey guys, dating life going pretty shitty?
I find you so creepy, I think you should have to walk around with a bell around your neck.
Finding yourself getting a little desperate for some female companionship?
Alexa, tell me you love me.
Hell no. You disgust me.
What you need is to upgrade your style right now. The Toxic Store's got exactly what you need. Pick up some stylish gear featuring Deviant Gamer, Toxic Radio, and the Heavy Metal Happy Hour.
Oh, yeah!
You can find the store through the Toxic Radio app or toxicradio.net. Get in the game.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Get yourself a little love.
That guy's getting boobies. Yeah, he is.
Toxic Radio and the Toxic Store. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic.
Enjoying all that Toxic Radio has to offer? Well, make sure you like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be the first to find out about ticket giveaways, amazing guests, awesome contests, and Toxic Radio events. Just search Toxic Radio Live, all one word, and press that little button. Every time you do, someone here at Toxic Radio will get their wings. Yay! Well, not really. Aww. But we will get a warm, fuzzy feeling in our tummies. But then again, that just might be the beer. Anyway, like and follow us, and we will see you out there on the interwebs.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Taking It Deep with me, Godfrey. And, yeah, welcome back. How's things going? Yeah, we'll talk about that. We will get into that in our second half of our sports half an hour power hour. Does that make sense? Probably not. But, lots going on today. And, can't really complain. It's been a nice week, nice weather today. Football games getting canceled. Cucks of the week, honorable mentions of the week, all that good stuff. And we got week 4 of the NFL on the back end of the show, and we'll talk quickly about the ugly of week 3. But breaking news for everybody, even though it is about sports, the NFL has had the worst happening, which they've got a game postponed. Not the worst. Hopefully it's a one-off. But that has happened. And a lot of confusion out there. Fantasy football confusion, things like that. NFL has a lot of things built into their schedule that can absorb stuff like this. But, Mike Tomlin's not happy about it because his team isn't affected. But the Titans have a lot of people. They played the Vikings last week, and I don't think anybody's coming up positive from the Vikings team. So they were... Just for my non-football fans, I think it's relevant because if you're not a sports fan, football is a big thing. But, a game getting canceled is a big thing as well. And they were supposed to play the Steelers, and the Titans were supposed to play 1 p.m. this Sunday, and now it's getting moved to, I believe, Week 7. I don't know if that's official yet. They were talking about playing it on Monday or Tuesday. Rumors are flying and swirling, and that is getting canceled, so that is not happening this week either. I guess they're erring on the side of caution, which is the smart move to do with this. In my opinion, Mike Tomlin's not happy about it, and the Steelers may have to play 13 consecutive games without a weekend off. While that is certainly not ideal, the Steelers did win the Super Bowl in 2005 after having a Week 4 bye. So, no one really likes those early buys. You like it in the middle of the season or late in the season. That's going to change depending on who you talk to. But, yeah. So, not surprising that the Eagles, not the Eagles, I'm sorry, that this happened. The Eagles are, we'll talk about that later, not surprising and surprising all in the same bundle, but not a good one. Yeah. Everybody expected something like this to happen in the NFL. It's been at a minimum. Let's hope it doesn't rise. It's a one-off. It doesn't affect the season. They've gotten really good results as far as that not happening. It was players and personnel, so they're not just looking at players. I thought they were going to just take out players when this happened, and they're taking out the whole, how do I say this? Taking out the whole team. So you're like, okay. And they're not going to have the Steelers play them because they don't want the Steelers to get effective, and then that's another problem too. So there you go. All I know is that sports are hanging tough through this COVID era. You surprised that it hasn't been worse there, Mike? I know you're not exactly what we would call a sports fan.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that it hasn't been worse. I'm surprised that they're still going strong as they are. I don't know what to say. It's very interesting. I'm surprised they're not doing what the WWE is doing right now.
What, with the virtual fans?
Yeah.
Has there been any virtual fan snuffs? Like where they had the guy that was wearing
snuff. Are you looking for snuff films?
Yeah, snuff films. No, but snafus. I meant to say, as far as people wearing I don't know, crazy stuff on the show, like Ku Klux Klan uniforms.
Well, did you see? I'm messing with my microphone because when you take equipment out of the studio, it can never go back the same way. But they have had snafus. I think we talked about it on your show one time, where they had Chris Benoit in the crowd, and nobody's seen any tits or anything yet, which is actually surprising. No naked man.
You think that would be the first thing?
It would be the first thing I did. So I don't know. I'm extremely shocked and disappointed in the WWE universe that they have not done that yet.
Really?
Yeah. Aren't you disappointed in them?
Yeah, I am. Maybe there's not enough titties out there available to perhaps, on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no boobies in the wrestling crowd.
There's boobies.
I knew you would be like, oh my God, there's boobies. Stop.
There's boobies. There's boobies to be had. Everybody remembers the days of ECW.
The days of ECW. Yeah, there were a lot of boobies then.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Well, ECW, that was fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
So a lot of crazy stuff going on this week. We're not going to talk about the debate because I'm just tired of hearing about it. It is, in the words of Dennis Green, it is what we thought it was.
The one thing that's very surprising about the debate, I'm not talking about that, is the way that this whole thing of bad things happen in Philly is just taken off like crazy, and like shirts are flying off the shelves in droves. Like they had a T-shirt guy on the news who all he was talking about is how people keep buying that shirt.
Nice. Did you know Borat's coming out with a sequel?
Yes, strictly on Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, I have Prime, so I will support that. Although I am getting a little annoyed.
Why?
By these movies that I want to see that are going will only be on this service.
But why is that a problem?
I just find it annoying.
Why?
I'd rather buy it online, like a single purchase somewhere. Like, do you want to buy it here? Go to, where you don't have to subscribe to a service to be able to buy it.
I hear you, but meh.
It's not, if it's one thing if they're including it in the service, right?
Right.
But then you have to buy the service. Like the movie that Tom Hanks was in, I really wanted to see, but I don't have Apple TV.
Philadelphia.
No, Apple TV. It was Greyhound, maybe. It was on Apple TV exclusively.
It was a movie called Greyhound,
or maybe it was like I'm going to tell you right now. It was a war movie, and it was Greyhound. Yeah, an inspiring action-packed film starring and written by Tom Hanks, will make its global debut to audiences over 100 countries, exclusively on Apple TV.
Well, this is how they're trying to compete with Netflix. Like, everybody comes out with their own fucking service, and then they try and get as many exclusives as they can to make it so you have to go there. This is the new age of streaming media. I mean, the one good thing is it's going to just kill off the cable companies 100%, and then you just get a la carte whatever you want. I mean, your cable bill could end up being more expensive than it is now because you want so many services. But, meh.
Yeah, well, my favorite streaming service is right now Sling TV. Get at us for a sponsorship, Sling.
Sling TV is the bomb diggity. That's what I use.
Yeah, I've been checking out all the streaming services because, cable companies are losing subscribers. Way too much fucking money, way too much equipment they want you to rent. It's just a complete ripoff. I'm helping Pat get his whole setup there so he can save. I'm going to save Pat at least $100 a month. And,
oh, yeah.
And that's that's with internet and
Dude,
getting pretty much everything you want to watch.
People used to look at this whole cable cutting as nonsense, as malarkey. Can I say malarkey on this show?
What's ironic about that is, and Pat was, I was a kid, but he'll remember this. People would say to, when cable TV came out, no one's going to pay for TV when you can get it for free.
Oh, yeah.
And
that
guess
was
what?
the thing.
I wish, it was probably my dad because he didn't, buy stock.
Comcast forced you.
Yeah.
And Comcast is a juggernaut.
I don't know what that means. Are we a slinger? What does it mean to be a slinger?
It's the commercial where they talk about they're slingers. It's a play on words, if you may, about being swingers.
Yeah, well, I tried Fubo TV. That kind of sucked because, they try to prevent password sharing, I guess, but when it comes to sports, it's more of a sports-centric streaming service, but you can't watch it, off of a different network.
Right.
Which is stupid. So I was like, cancel. That's the great thing about streaming services. You can cancel it like that. There's no contract like, oh, sir, you farted sideways, and we just signed you to a 5-year contract. I'm sorry, but, you change your internet speed by 2 gigs, and you're in contract for 5 years, and you'll be paying for your modem, and you'll be paying for your Wi-Fi equipment at $25 a month.
Uh-huh. Unless you work for the company.
Unless you work for the company. That's the best cable deal is working for the company.
Then you get it all free.
Yep.
Jinx, show me a Pepsi.
Is that what? I owe you a Pepsi if I jinx you? Okay.
I don't know. I'm
know
delirious, bro. I'm delirious.
Nice. Yeah, so Borat 2 is coming out.
Yes, and I did watch the trailer. It was really cool. It's nothing to write home about, but I like the Borat character. I like it. I like to see that Borat 2 is coming out. I like to see that the Jackass guys are getting back together.
My thing is
I like all that stuff.
He gets people to come on the show or
Right.
the movie, and they know who he is. And some of them he's gotten before, and he fools them all the time. Certain people don't fall for it, like Bernie Sanders. He had on, and he was looking on the one show, and Bernie's like,
yeah,
and Bernie's like, okay, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
He's like,
he doesn't get everybody, but I mean,
he gets
in the
mostly.
trailer for this one, he's dressing up as all sorts of crazy characters. I'll tell you what, he does push the limit sometimes with the jokes and the gay jokes and the big.
Remember he did Bruno,
men.
and he did a movie called Bruno, and he had Paula Abdul sit on people that were supposed to be there as live furniture.
Right, live furniture, and that was also the Bruno one. Was the one where I was literally in a theater watching it on a giant screen, and then all of a sudden you just see the helicopter dick that's like 10 feet high.
Oh, yeah. I knew you would remember that one.
Very interesting.
So he is being filmed in secret with Sacha Baron Cohen, returning as the controversial Kazakh journalist. Kazakhstan.
So this is a thing I think that's 2020 has brought to us. Amongst other things, is there's been a lot more, at least I've noticed, a lot more full frontal nudity of men. Not only full frontal nudity of men, but also the use of the cock in the storyline to bring things together.
By the way, the Borat 2 will be released October 23rd on Amazon Prime. So, what did you see? When you had this thought, when you had this epiphany, what were you looking at?
So more and more shows on Netflix, on Amazon Prime are getting more risque, or they're pushing the envelope a little more. And there's nothing pushing the envelope more than full frontal penis. And everybody knows the feeling when you were watching, like, if you watched The Watchmen and you saw the full frontal blue penis.
I feel there should be more frontal nudity all the way around, and there should be
all
equality.
the way around. Yes.
I think Bush is highly discriminated against.
Yes, that's the name of this episode, full frontal penis.
You got to stop discriminating against Bush and give it equal opportunity.
But watching The Boys, anybody who's watched that on Amazon Prime, I think it's more Amazon. It's all about the Wang. Right from the bat, I think it was the first episode that you got to see translucent, full frontal in the woman's room. And then you saw a lot of craziness in the nightclub. And a spoiler alert for season 2 of The Boys. If you haven't seen it yet, skip forward about 30 seconds. But there's a scene where a guy, his superpower is to make his schlong super lad, like how on the Fantastic Four, how the Stretch Armstrong guy, whatever, Mr. Fantastic, can make his arm stretch. This guy can make his wang, his peen stretch, and he chokes a guy out with it.
Oh, what a way to get what a way to get beat up.
And just in case it goes too fast, in case you don't see it fast enough, it's an unclipped peen. It's unclipped. It's an anteater.
Oh, it's
yeah.
It's a it's natural.
It's natural. It's the way the Lord preferred it.
It's a flesh ramekin.
Yes.
It's a petri dish.
Yes. If you have not seen this,
I don't want to go off on the circumcision.
You need to go. No, I'm letting you go on. I'm not going to go down that road again. Again. But if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But I'm of the sound mind to say, I don't consider myself a gay man, but bring on the peen. Bring it on. More frontal nudity of the men.
I can't wait to clip that and make a soundbite out of that. Bring on the peen.
Bring it on. Let's get more of that.
Bring on the peen.
Let's get more of that in the shows on privately owned networks. Let's bring it on. That's what's going to get you the subscribers. I'm talking to you, Peacock. I'm talking to you, Quibi. I'm talking to you, Disney Plus. I'm talking to all these streaming services. If you want to get the audience, if you want to grab them by the balls, give them the peen.
Wow. Nice. Sometimes you got to grab life by the shaft.
Yeah, grab it by the shaft, and show it who's boss.
Nice. So, show who you got to talk to that turd and show who's boss. Nice. Very nice. So, I don't know if anybody knew this, but apparently in 2014, Pope Francis said he would baptize aliens if they asked. He did not want.
Yes, I remember that.
He did not want to close doors to green Martians with long noses and big ears. In 2010, a papal astronomer also said he would baptize aliens if they asked. He said, "Any entity, no matter how many tentacles it has a soul."
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
It is true. I mean,
are they confirming their belief in aliens?
You can't discriminate.
What?
You can propagate, but you can't discriminate.
Nice. So, we shall see.
Yes.
Is this auxiliary on?
Oh, shit. I apologize, sir. That is my fault.
I expect perfection.
Perfection. That is perfection right there. See, just a tap of the button. Just had to tap it in.
Tap it in.
Just I tapped it in.
Happy Gilmore.
That's what happens when you tap it in.
Yeah. So, a lot of crazy stuff. The XFL.
Talking to the microphone. You went to broadcasting school, sir. You went to broadcasting school, and he's like, we're looking at Fish. If Fish was watching right now,
Fish is playing Oasis on acoustic in his backyard.
Is that what he does?
That's what I always picture.
Burning candles around him?
Yep.
So,
a lot of interesting stuff going on. So.
Yes.
Borat's coming out. I'm excited.
Yes.
I plan my whole year around that.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. Did you see any interesting movies on the weekend? I watched The Social Dilemma. I thought that was pretty good.
I have not seen it. Gotta watch it. Haven't seen it. The only thing I've actually watched recently was The Boys and The Office on repeat.
Yeah. Does anybody care that Tim Toolman Taylor is back on TV with Richard Karn? I guess his buddy Al.
No, I did not. What's he doing with that?
I think they're doing and his good buddy Tim Allen, his good buddy Rich Carter, providing a sweet dose of nostalgia for the '90s kids, filming together again for a show they'll co-host together. The Home Improvement stars are working together again for the competition show Assembly Required on the History Channel, which is pretty cool, actually. Richard was so excited about the reunion, he posted a pic. If you have any doubts how much fans want to see them back together, it racked up nearly 20,000 likes in just a few minutes. I could see that.
Dude, talk about a fucking crazy story. I mean, that guy was, in jail for crack cocaine and some crazy shit, and now he's Buzz Lightyear.
Was he?
Yeah.
Tim Allen did time for crack.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
You didn't know that? Look that up. Yeah. It was coke or something.
Well, coke and
I'm sorry.
I feel like on the scale of class, coke is above crack. Just saying. Is it?
But isn't crack, I guess, kind of? I don't know, but it was coke, it was crack, it was something.
All right, if you meet a hot girl.
Yes.
And you walk in on her doing a bump. And then let's say you meet another hot girl and you walk in on her smoking crack. Who are you more likely to continue that date with?
Neither.
I'm going the one that did the bump of coke. I've had that happen to me one time. I was on a date with a girl and we pulled up and she pulls this coke thing out of her breast and takes a snort and I'm like, it's going to be that kind of night, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a coke guy. I've never done it, but I was just like, well, wasn't expecting that. She's like, do you mind? And in my head, I'm like, well, she already snorted it, so it's not like...
I mean, you can't do anything. I mean,
I should have dropped a line like, hey, do you want to do a line off of old Godfrey's boner or something like that?
That doesn't make it any different.
Yeah.
Off old Godfrey's boner. That doesn't creep her out at night.
Okay. Yeah. Did you ever... There's this show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And there's a line in there where he's talking to an older guy. He's hanging around a racetrack or... where they race horses, and it's like they're having a casual conversation, and he's like, hey, I think he was talking to Mac. No, Mac, not Mac. Who's the other one that has like the really old crotchety mom? Not Mac, not the guy.
Charlie,
yeah. Charlie's the
Charlie Day. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, hey, why don't you do an old line off of old Joe's boner? And he looked at him, and he was like, and walked out. I was just like, that was one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in that show.
But did you see the boner?
No.
See, wouldn't that have made it better?
Not penilely. Why has everything got to be penilely driven?
I don't know. Sorry. Just don't lick dick.
Yeah, right. And I don't know why There you go. Just testing the sounds out. Here, I'm gonna do my impression of Mike. The doorbell won't work.
Oh my God, folks, we're having technical difficulty. I pushed the button.
Yeah, I pushed it. Look at this.
Now we're having it. There you go. That works.
Hi, I'm Mike. I heard this is a peen party.
No, it's not that Matt's not talking louder. It's that he keeps on going to the side of his microphone.
Stevie Wonder has the same problems. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Okay, so everybody that's watching at home or listening on the podcast, when you hear Matt start actually, his sound starts going lower, it's nothing wrong with your audio.
Yes.
It's him going from the front of the microphone to the side of the microphone.
Don't listen to him. Let the placebo effect take effect. It is your audio, and by the time you figure out it's not your audio, it will be fixed, and you'll be like, wow, what is that? Why is it fixed?
I hear that all the time. They're like, Matt keeps on going in and out with his audio, and I'm like, that's because he doesn't take the microphone with him. Like, you're supposed to have it go with you.
I'm gonna cup it. Yeah. So I saw a lot of fun things, debate related. I don't know, true or not true, but the funny thing I saw going around on the social media was Mark safe from bad things in Philadelphia. That was funny. I was like, okay. That was so it's been a kind of uneventful week because that kind of swallowed up the first part of the week. They were taking
swallowed it.
They were taking bets on the debate, which is crazy. I'm not taking bets on the debate. I mean,
People will bet on anything, though. I mean, is that really shocking to you? You have anything if you're
that people will
addicted to
bet on
betting.
it. People betting on it isn't shocking to me. The fact that there are books out there giving bets out for it was shocking to me. You know what I mean? And then
Doesn't shock me.
it's still a sucker bet, in my opinion, but it's a sucker bet. There's no real. I just think they probably come up with, who might win, who doesn't win, what's the official result. It's all based on opinion anyway. So
You got a point.
Trump versus just Biden debate odds. The presidential debates are scheduled to occur. So let's see. Will Joe Biden agree with the fourth debate monitor? Will Joe Biden agree to the fourth debate moderator by Joe Rogan? Plus 700 for yes, minus 2100 no. Will Joe Biden publicly respond to Joe Rogan's debate offer? Plus 100 yes. That's low odds. Will Trump say QAnon? No, minus 500, plus 300. Will Donald Trump say Sleepy Joe? I mean, that's a minus 400. I mean, I don't know if he did.
Move the microphone with your face.
Mm.
I'm helping you out, bro. I'm watching your levels go low.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to peek behind the monitor here. Let's move it here. So, will Joe Biden mention Joe Biden's basement? That was a nice one, minus 160. How many times will Donald Trump say China? The over-under on that was 6.5. The under was 300. I would have took that bet if you had asked me want to take. He might have went under. Will Donald Trump say anarchist? That was a minus 700. I heard that one that will hit. So there's a lot in there. I just think it's funny. It's like, I'm like, well, okay. It's so easily like manipulated. I'm just saying, no, I won't do that bet. But hey, maybe people had fun doing it. I bet you it boosted the ratings. Right? Matt, you make me feel deaf. You're fired, Laura. I'm gonna dislike her comment.
You know what? Me and Matt will be hopefully we'll be in AC this weekend. When you see Laura, just whisper everything to her so she feels deaf the whole time.
And I'm gonna be a close talker, and I'm gonna eat a piece of garlic beforehand and be like, hi, what's up? What's worse, the close talker or the whisperer or the low talker?
Close talker, absolutely. Somebody gets too close and they've got either bad breath or every now and then a spittle flies out of their mouth. Oh my God, that's the worst. A little spittle.
A little spittle.
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 A little spittle.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Would you bet money, Mike, on video games? On video game matches?
Absolutely. I went just about a year and a half ago to the championships for Overwatch in Philly. It was unbelievable. And me and my buddy Demonoid went, and if somebody were to have said to me like, yo, let's bet on the next round, whatever, I definitely would have done it. Definitely.
Yeah, well.
I know that made no sense to you.
I know you guys are waiting for who the cuck of the week is going to be. And I feel like Chris Wallace, who moderated the debate, is that guy because he's definitely standing there with his dick in his hand trying to moderate the debate. So, like, he that poor guy was trying to do the best job he could. So, yeah, Chris Wallace, Fox News, it could be MSNBC, it could be CNN. That's a tough debate to moderate, in my opinion, and it's going to continue to be that way. So, yeah, so I think that will be fun to watch again. It's going to be good theater, I guess, when it comes up, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Who knows what will happen? It's a wild card. It's like a WWE pay-per-view, except you don't have to pay for it.
I mean,
right? There isn't, but people are loving it.
Well, my whole thing is they're talking about cutting the microphone and muting the microphone for the person who is supposed to be silent during that time. And I think that's all talk. I think no network worth their weight in gold would possibly mute somebody who is being erratic and over the top and aggressive like Trump was because of the whole fact that it brings in viewership.
Well, Trump's got more energy.
It brings in ratings. Right, stuff like that. That brings a certain amount of hype to it whether it's good, bad, or indifferent,
He's got
people. That's why people
right.
would watch Jerry Springer
Listen,
rather
he
than
knows-
a special. That's
say what you
heartwarming.
want about him. He knows how to hype up an event. So, and that's that he's skilled at that. So, I would do the same thing for him. But, Chris Wallace is Fox News. He's a pretty down the middle guy. I'm not even a fan of him. But, it's almost like letting two chickens go into the ring. It's like, here's a cockfight, and you're not going to control it, and that's that. So, I didn't even really watch it. I found more of the reaction interesting post than watching it in general. And then I looked up clips and stuff, and it was like, all right. But there was other stuff on that night. I forget what was on, but I think I was watching Nat Geo. I don't know, something, whatever. So, that being said, there's nothing else exciting going on. Life is ending on Monday.
That's it.
Just
Done.
We're done. We're done.
We're done.
But
good night.
we are going to break in as soon as Mike gets a chance to cue up that music.
Oh, see, I'm doing double duty.
Yeah.
Double duty.
Yeah.
How many times I was doing double duty when you got here? I'm doing double duty now. You get the full effect of double duty.
Yep. Hold on. We'll do it again for you. You missed it. And we're going to bring Uncle Pat on. He's going to jump in with us on the football. Week 3, the good, bad, and ugly. Pat had a money line pick for you that if you went with the Cincinnati Bengals, you would have won some extras. Scroll there. I don't remember what the
No,
money.
that was a tie. How the hell did he win on the money line?
Oh,
It's
that's
a
right.
push.
I wanted to ask you that.
It's a push.
It's a push. So it's not a loss, but it's not a win.
Correct.
But he did pick the spread, and he did cover there. So
That was a given.
yeah. Now, week 3, we're not going to spend a lot of time on that, but I will tell you that week 3 was interesting for many reasons. Unfortunate injuries from the week before. Teams where people thought they would lose because they were injured, like the San Francisco Giants 49ers game. Well-coached teams or teams that draft depth tend to show up like that, and they have a good backup quarterback. They have good backups all the way down to their practice squad with their running backs. And it makes me think of the Eagles, who are the complete opposite right now. I don't know if Carson Wentz is going to ever be the same as 2017, but I did see him run for a touchdown. It was pretty impressive.
Limp for a touchdown.
Limp, he ran and dove in there. That was a hell of a play. You think he's maimed or something. He ain't as fast as he used to be, I'm going to guess. I've never seen him do a 40 time, but I would think that's definitely maybe reduced his mobility. But he put the team on his back to tie it up, but he sure as fuck threw a couple interceptions that didn't help his team either. Team all the way around looked bad. My thing with the Eagles, and then we'll move on to the rest of the games, is I look at the coaching staff, I look at the players, I look at the roster construction via Howie Roseman, and I think the front office, including, and it's probably going to be hard to do in the middle of the season, but including the head coach should be let go and Deuce Staley should be the interim coach. Because here's the thing. The week before, I told you to take the over. This is week 2. Week 2 on the Bengals-Browns. And the Bengals and Browns went over, and the Browns rushed on them for 220 yards. And then the Browns are a better running team than passing team, so you know what they're going to do, but the Bengals had no answer for them. Week 3, the Eagles come in, and they didn't run the ball enough. You have a struggling quarterback. You're supposed to run the ball, not pass more. I just didn't get it. I didn't agree with the tie move. I felt that you should play to win the game. Maybe try to go on it for 4th. Maybe kick the field goal. Elliott has a 62-yarder to his career name, or 61, right?
Anything but punt.
Anything but punt.
Throw it down the field and hope for a...
or go for it on 4th down, and if you don't get the 4th down and you get more yardage, well, now they got to kick a 64-yard field goal. I feel like when I watch that team, he's in over his head. That's the feeling I get from him.
Over his head.
Yeah, I feel like that. He's definitely getting a lot more leash because of the Super Bowl win. If he never won the Super Bowl, he would have been in trouble last year.
Listen, the team's getting old.
Yeah, bad roster construction. Old is not good.
And the quarterback is second string.
No, I don't think so. You're not watching again. Listen,
Yes,
I've watched
I
Drew
am
Brees
watching
have
the
a
game.
bad game this week. 2 games I watched. I think he's serviceable. Jared Goff was looking like a second string till Jeff Fisher got fired, Then the coach worked with what they had. They made the system fit the players instead of players fit the system. You know, if you're going to do that, then you need to draft players that fit that system or have the ability to coach those players to fit the system. They don't do that, either one. And they draft bad. Chip Kelly had more good draft picks than Howie Roseman. Howie's had a couple good ones, but he's made some really egregious bad ones, bad signings, keeping old players too long.
See, I think the problem is the scouts.
As well.
No,
in addition.
In general.
Maybe. But the scouts are selected by the front office. So if that's who they got doing their talent evaluation, they can't evaluate talent evaluators. That's simple. I mean, they're selecting it. Doug Peterson, his play calling was so vanilla. They know what they're going to do. And I'm hearing fans say things that was reminiscent of Andy Reid. Vanilla. Predictable. You know, when it comes to the offense toward the end of his tenure. And guess what? It's vanilla and predictable. They know. They know what they have.
That's all he's got to work with is vanilla and predictable.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe, but I don't see him making the adjustments he needs to make. They're not throwing screens. They're not doing QB options. I don't see enough bootlegs. You know, things that, you know, you're going to have to put him in a better position. If he fails, he fails. But right now, that is your quarterback. And the last part of this is Jalen Hurts.
Put him in.
No way. You're out of your mind. I don't want this coaching staff touching that kid if this is maybe the future of the team. I don't want him touching it. He has no offensive line. He's going to get hammered in there, and he's going to be. Yeah, no, you're crazy. You're with that crowd that thinks like, let's just give up on Carson right now.
No, I'm saying give up on a season to see what you got with the kid.
Yeah, it's too early for that, especially when you're in the worst division of football in the NFC East. The worst,
dude. They're skim milk playing in a skim milk division, and they're the worst of the fucking four.
Nah,
put the kid in.
No, they're not. The Redskins will finish last. The Giants are horrendous. I don't know if the Giants have even won a game yet. I don't think they have. They're horrendous. They don't have an offensive line. They don't have their schematics look all wrong. I think Saquon Barkley got injured. It was unfortunate. I think he was getting hammered because of how bad it was. They were just getting hammered. Poor kid got injured. You know, that takes a year off his career, maybe more.
Yeah, I hate to see when a kid.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a Giants fan, but I do like seeing the best players on the field if possible. And that kid, that poor guy, is injured. And they're just the first week where they played the Steelers. They were pulling the guards. Their play design was horrible, and they were blowing up the run game. And that was supposed to be improved for them. Daniel Jones looks bad. So, you know, I think the Cowboys don't have a defense that could score, right? So, and it's going to be two mediocre teams that are, one of them will squeak in the playoffs and then be one and done, and that will be that. The Eagles are in cap hell, and they're not hitting on their draft picks. That is not a good combination. People say Doug don't have a lot of work with. I don't know, man. You know, if the play execution is there, he calls the right plays, and they don't perform, that's great. But there's other ways where you could see them perform. They didn't run the ball enough. This team is a sieve. My grandma could run on the Bengals. You're going to see that happen this week. I guarantee it. So that's it for the Eagles. I just think Jalen Hurts, it's too early. I don't think he's not ready. And and on top of that, you and I are both a big believer in sitting and learning.
Sure.
And he hasn't had a regular offseason, so how much does he actually know?
He doesn't know much.
Right. He's going to get killed in there. If you're going to go that way, just put Nate Sutphin on him for now. Let the kid sit because I've seen
I'm good with that.
I see quarterbacks learning. Yeah, well, I don't think benching Carson is at that stage yet. 2 games, 3 games.
They paid too much money for him.
Well,
they gave him $3 million instead of $30 million. They'd have his ass on a fucking bench.
Well,
they just feel like
that's
spent
fantasy
too much
land.
money.
That falls under your saying if my grandfather had balls. Or my grandmother had balls, be my grandfather. If they gave you can't pay a backup quarterback barely $3 million.
Well, my point is, if they give him too much money, they got to make they have to make an effort to let the guy pull himself out of a slump. And this guy hasn't been out of a slump since he came back after his first injury. He's been there since.
Yeah. Well, listen. He is what he is. He is what? Sign him? Everybody would have signed him at that point. How's it a bad move? That's 20/20 vision right there.
No, it's not. I wouldn't have signed him in the first place until I saw him playing well after an injury. If you're getting rid of one or the other, I would have gotten rid of them both and started fresh.
He was an above-average quarterback last year. Now he's probably the worst right now.
No, he was average last year.
No, he was. If you look at the QBR, honestly, he was above average. He did what he needed to do when he had to do it. You know, everybody who doesn't want to give him credit and they wanted to, oh, now it's got to be fancy. There's a nick on your car and it's not worth shit. Come on. He carried that team with you said there was nobody on that team, and I agree, but I also agree he's playing like garbage. I just don't think you bench him yet. For Jalen Hurts, it ain't going to do anything. We want him on a team with older guys that don't have it anymore. Let's get the kid clobbered if he's the future. Great plan. He's going to get clobbered. I don't know if
the kid's the future because they had other plans for him other than quarterback.
No, he's only playing quarterback. He's not playing anything else. There's no way he was playing anything else.
Has he taken a snap at all in regards to being anywhere?
He's taken a couple snaps. Yeah, you know the Eagles.
Has he lined up anywhere else other than quarterback?
I don't think so. No, okay. Maybe in the Wildcat. There was 2 plays that were insignificant that I didn't see that I read about, but we'll see. I don't know, man. Wentz he's looking pretty bad. We'll see if he can rebound. I've seen some quarterbacks have bad games. Sometimes they rebound, sometimes they don't.
He's had 3 bad fucking years.
3 bad? You're exaggerating.
You're just what I
This
say.
is what we call the troll stance. So last show, there's a lot of teams that would jerk someone off for eye contact for...
Give them to him. For a bag of fucking chips.
For 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, QB rated 93. That's good.
And
that's
wait a
not
minute.
good.
And 1,500 fucking fumbles. 1,502. I'm sorry. The motherfucker couldn't hold on to the ball at all. He fumbled in every single game last year.
Yeah, you barely watched the game. That's all I know.
Okay,
so you got to see the plays. You got to see the plays.
Yeah,
he does. Last year, how many times did he fumble? I don't know. 6.
6,000.
6.
He's fumbled more than 6 times in the
6. That's
for the whole season.
6
for the season.
Yeah, you're exaggerating. 6.
All right.
The season before that, 0 fumbles. The season before that, 5, 4. His career fumbles are 16. That's not his problem. His problem right now is the interceptions. That's the problem. 6 interceptions already. Last year he had 7. That's the problem.
For the year.
Right. So that's the problem. 6 interceptions, and he had 7 last year. That is horrendous. And somewhere in the red zone, somewhere in the back end of the field, not good. Now, you can't throw interceptions in the red zone. You can't. That will get anybody benched. That one play I'm talking about was the one where it was in the Rams game where he threw an interception and the guy intercepted in the end zone. So
I remember that.
Yeah, not good. But, you know, now when they see fumbles, these are fumbles lost, I believe. It doesn't really tell me, but I could find out about that. But, you know, not looking like good. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. This is why they play the games. They're not benching him yet. There's no way. And I think it's suicide to bench him. And I ain't even talking about winning the games. I'm talking about the guy. You don't want to sacrifice if he's your future. Second round's high for a quarterback. It's high. So if you took him in the 7th round, different story. But if you took him in the second round,
so
you're
talking about egg on your face versus reality.
No, there's no egg on my face. Last year, I told you the Eagles would win the division, and did they? Yes. Did I tell you it was a mediocre division? I said yes. You said it is the worst in football. There's nobody else there.
Skim milk.
Yeah, it's the worst in football.
And
I don't hate skim milk, by the way.
I do when it comes to my sports.
Yeah,
I like whole milk.
I don't hate skim milk. It's whole milk. It depends what I'm putting it on or drinking. I don't drink a lot of milk these days either. But
that was a metaphor.
Yeah, I still do like milk sometimes with a nice cookie or a brownie or I had a chocolate cannoli last night. That was pretty good.
No, you didn't.
I did. I duoed you. You were asleep to show it to you before I ate it.
Oh, no, the phone was ringing. I was on the phone with my son.
Oh, I was going to tease you with it. So, we're going to get it in next week's games.
I will smash it in your face next time if you don't bring me one.
Yeah, I did bring you one once. You should have savored the flavor of that. We'll get into next week's games. Pat, I took a commanding lead this week. I 10 right for the Godfrey, 7 wrong for Uncle Pat, 26 versus 21 for the season. Where'd you get weak?
Wait a minute. 7 wrong means I had 9 right.
7 right.
Oh, 7 right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where'd you get weak?
I left my crystal ball at home.
Oh, God damn it. I hate when that happens to me. But we do have the games coming up. There was a couple of tough ones. Half point. I lost by a half point on one. You hit by a half point on some of them. There were some close calls there. But Cincinnati was a good one that, Uncle Pat gave you, which is money line pick you could have got, or even just a spread. It was a tie, but the spread would have been covered. So
They should have never tied that game. Eagles got lucky.
yeah. Oh, well, the Bengals are – Joe Burrow is good, but Joe Mixon's good, but that team's light. They're on a rebuild. They're in a rebuild, the Bengals. But Joe Burrow looks good. I like Joe.
Yeah, the Eagles are on their way down before they can even hit the rebuild stage.
Oh, I would say they're going to have to start rebuilding soon. But it's not looking
That's
good.
my point.
Yeah.
They still believe they got a fucking team.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Or they're trying to make us believe that so we continue to spend money on their
you can't
dog-ass play.
You can't have any fans in the stadium this year, so that ain't happening.
Yeah, you still get market share from the amount
sure.
of television.
Well, Eagles
that's
fans are going to
watched.
spend money no matter what, I think.
It's because they're fucking idiots.
So, let's get into this week's games, though. We got an interesting one tonight. I don't know where to go with this one, but
Denver.
Now Denver's -1.
Denver's -1. Okay.
Yeah, and the total is 41. Brett Rippon.
I haven't seen this before ever when a team is or isn't getting points that the money line isn't plus and minus on either side. This is weird. Denver's -109 on the money line, and the Jets are -108. It keeps flipping back and forth regarding who's being bet on. Jets were +1, Jets were -1 earlier today. So for the 15 cents getting bet back and forth.
By the way, your answer is Mark Rippon related?
Yeah, cousin. That's his nephew.
His nephew. Yep,
Yeah,
they are related. You are correct.
Yeah.
So
the fucking Rippons are out there, please.
I'm going with the Broncos too. They're on the road, but they're -1.
It's the Jets.
Yeah, -1 or not. You're right. That's weird. So I'm going with the Broncos here. We won't spend too much time on that game. This one's an interesting one. Nikki Sixx
I'm going to
is in the saddle, and they are +2.5 underdogs. The total is 43. And
I gotta go Chicago.
Yeah, I think
it's a 3.5 point swing. Chicago was -1 earlier in the week.
Yeah, and he's got a good defense. But we got a notepad over here, there, Mike. No, yes.
What's that?
We got a notepad, brah.
A notepad. A notepad.
Yes.
I thought you said a notepad. I
No,
was like,
Pat, get out.
He's
Notepad,
right there.
get out. No,
I'll get you one.
Yeah, no. Yeah, who are you going with this one? You're
Chicago.
going. You got Chicago with the points. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all.
I'll
like
tell you what. I'm changing my first pick to under.
You're taking the under.
I'm taking the under.
Okay. Good for you. I mean,
Denver's got the third string quarterback in, and the Jets are the
I think
Jets.
this kid can play, though. This kid can play. Will there be you're going to need turnovers for this to hit the over, I think. It's in New York, though. Can the Jets bounce back? Probably not. They can't bounce back.
Who do you want in the first game?
Oh, I'm going Broncos.
Okay.
100%. So, next up, we were talking about the
Indiana and
Bears. And the
Chicago.
Bears, I'm going to take the Bears at the points as well.
So am I.
Yeah, I mean, I think Indy might win a close game. It's going to be a close game. Indy has an exceptional defense. Very good defense. On the road, though, you're giving me a free 3 points with the home team or 2.5 points. I'm going to take it, and especially a home team that's 3-0. So I'm going with you on that one, the Bears. We got the New Orleans Saints that are 1-2 in Detroit, who had a shocking upset last week of Arizona on the road. It opened up at 3.5. New Orleans is favored by 4 now, and the under-over, the total is 54.
I'm going New Orleans.
Going New Orleans? Yeah, it's going a lot. It looks like the money's going, public money's going New Orleans as well.
Detroit, please.
Detroit hung with Arizona, though, on the road.
Fucking Arizona, please.
I'm taking Detroit with the points.
Good.
Because, I'm going to take Detroit with the points. Both 1-2. Both need to win. So, next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals, who I thought was a Super Bowl contender.
New Orleans 1-2?
Yeah.
Good.
I thought the Cardinals, remember I told everybody take the Packers last week, and that was a cash game for you. The Cardinals, I thought were a Super Bowl contender. I don't know if they are. After seeing them get handled by the Lions at home last week, Kyler Murray throwing 3 interceptions. And, but I do like them to win this game. It's Cardinals in Carolina, -3. And the total's 51. It opened up at 4, but you're at -3 right now. So
I'm going with the under.
Going with the under on this?
Yeah. I am.
Yeah, this could be a sneaky over.
Your call.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the over on it. Cardinals run a pretty fast offense. The Panthers have been scoring surprisingly on teams. I think they're a little bit more talented than everybody thought. You just didn't know what you had because we got no preseason games, etc. I'm going to go with the over on it. You know what? Switch that. I'm going to go with Arizona. I think they're going to win. But if you want to do a parlay inside of a game, I wouldn't be afraid of taking Arizona and taking the over. Just wouldn't be. A lot of points. The Cardinals play are really fast pace of play, which means there's extra plays on the field. But Kyler Murray had a shit game last week. 3 interceptions. That's why they lost.
I'm wondering what his sophomore year is going to look like. This is going to determine his future.
It'd be up and down probably, but he looks good so far. But I don't know.
3 interceptions, not good.
So we're going to go on lightning speed here. We got the Bengals coming off their first, not victory, tie of the year, 0-2-1, versus the Jaguars. This does qualify as a toilet bowl game. And so I meant to play this for the Jets game, so I'm going to dedicate this to you because
I got to go with the under. I mean, it went up the totals from 44.5 to 49.
Wow.
I got to go with the under.
That's crazy. That's a lot of movement on there, right?
Yeah, of course it is.
I'm going to go with the under, too. That's the official Jets fight song.
Jets. Any Jets fans? Fucking morons.
Pat used to work on the Turnpike, so he's not a fan of the Jets fans. But, I'm going to go...
No, I just hate New Yorkers.
Yeah.
I'm okay with saying that. I hate New Yorkers.
49, though, is the over. What did you say you were taking on that, Pat?
Under.
You're going with the under, huh? Yeah, I think I'm going with the Bengals here to finally crack the win column and get Joe Burrow's first win. I'm going to take the Bengals with the points. Broncos, sorry, guys. Browns at the Cowboys. Browns 2-1, Cowboys 1-2. Cowboys have a sieve of a defense, the banged-up offensive line. They're favored by 4.5 at home. They do play better at home. That is absolutely true. But this will be my upset and money line pick of the week. The Browns, you're going to give them, they're 2-1. They run the ball well. They don't have a defense. You're going to give them the plus 4.5. I'll take that.
I already did. I wrote it down. I like Cleveland.
But the money line is 187. I like that money line. So,
good money line.
Yeah. You're not going to see 56 points in this game. I think the under is good, too, because if the Browns run the ball, they're going to eat up the clock, and Dak Prescott's not going to have a chance to throw a lot of touchdowns.
This year, I got to say Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz.
I mean, sure. But if you want to go off fumbles, like you said, and interceptions, he's had those, too. He's just,
No, I agree. He blows.
I mean, but they're going to be competing for the mediocrity award. I don't think he blows. He's a serviceable quarterback, too. They got to put him. They got to put the right pieces around him. He's not going to be the type that elevates the team.
We are so weakened in the fucking starting quarterback position for this league. It's pitiful.
Well, I mean, some guys are going to carry a team like a Russell Wilson, and some guys aren't. And he's
Love
not.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Browns, and you're on the same thing, it sounds like, Pat. So
I am.
Vikings at the Texans. This was a possible COVID game. There's been no positive tests from the Vikings because of the Texans did play the Steelers. And these, more so the Vikings playing the Titans. So the total's 53.5 and stayed pretty steady. And the Texans are favored by -4. I'm going to go with the Texans here. They need this. Both 0-3 teams. It's in Texas. They need this one. I think it's time for them to play. The Texans have played some tough competition in the first 3 weeks. They had Patrick Mahomes. They've had the Steelers. And they've had, I forget who the third team is, or the second team was. But, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Both.
I'm going with Minnesota.
Yeah, you're going Minnesota. Okay, cool.
And when I like Houston, they've just been coming out really slow.
Both 0-3 teams, so this would be a toilet bowl game as well, and maybe, just maybe, they'll actually end up, doing some stuff. My doorbell's not working now. So, Seahawks at Dolphins. I don't know why this would go down, but -7. It started out as -6.5. Seahawks. The Dolphins, 53.5 is the total. So they're underdogs at home, -6.5. The Seahawks are favored.
I'm going with the over.
I'm going with the over on this, huh? Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad bet. Not a bad bet at all. I'm going with the Seahawks to cover. I'm not afraid of a 6.5 points on the road. Not from Russell Wilson. And next up, Chargers, Buccaneers open up at 45.5, jump to 43. Now it's -6 is what it opened up as. The Buccaneers are favored -7.
What are you thinking?
Well, why don't you just ask me what's in my hand?
It's usually your dick.
Yeah, that's what he said last week. He's like, oh, why don't you ask me what's in my hand? Well, I'm thinking the Buccaneers with the points. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're using a rookie quarterback. The Bucs defense is better than people think. I'm thinking they're going to win by a touchdown.
All right, I'm going with the over.
43's over. Low over. Not a bad bet. This one's interesting. Well, not really. I mean, Ravens.
Holy Christmas.
An angry Ravens team that's -13.5 on the road in Washington. I wouldn't be afraid to take that. I just wouldn't be. Dwayne Haskins is playing horrendous. If you think that the Washington football team is that good, I would throw 50 on that +712. I mean, what are you getting? That's with
There's no fucking way in the world they're beating them.
No way.
But
not after coming off a loss, too. They're going to beat up on these guys. They're pissed. They are going to beat up on the Washington Redskins. I see like a 37-10 score. Something lopsided, you know. I'm going to take the -13.5.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I'm taking Washington.
Yeah.
And you know I love Baltimore. I just think
it's a lot of points.
Double digits just sometimes has the other team lay down.
We got 0-3. Giants on the road in Los Angeles against the Rams. They're -12.5. Total's 48. That's a lot of points to lay there, too. But the Giants have looked just horrendous. I mean, they put up, 9 points last week? Enough to help me beat the over.
12.5. 12.5. Just a lot. I'm going with the Giants.
I'm going to take the Rams at 12.5. Patriots at the Chiefs. Interesting one. In Kansas City, I believe there will be some fans present because they are allowed to have fans there. They are 6.5-point favorites. The total is 53. Pretty much held steady for the whole week. I mean, Kansas City is rolling at 2-0. Patriots are 2-1. I definitely think the game plan here is going to be able to be run the ball and keep the hand out of Patrick Mahomes' hands, which we've seen the Patriots do, but with a different team. But they do have something different than they've done that before. They have Cam Newton, who is a running quarterback.
I'm going with the over.
I'm going with the Patriots and the points. I think the Patriots might not win, but they'll keep it closer than you think. Bills in Las Vegas against the Raiders, who are 2-1, and I believe they're 2-1. Yeah, and they were brought back down to earth by the Patriots. The Buffalo Bills, however, are -3 favorites on the road, and they're playing hot football. The Raiders don't have a good defense. I'm going to go with the Bills here. -3, I have to go with the Red Hot Bills.
I'm going with Vegas.
Okay. Vegas it is. Eagles, 49ers. Sunday night football game. Prime time to see this Drek. -7. The 49ers are favored. Started out -5.5. And the total went from 43 to 46. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo might not be playing. They're getting some players back health-wise. That should help out. Very well-coached team. I think, they didn't win a Super Bowl last year, but they have a really good system there. So, who are you going with on this, Pat? I know we were talking.
Under.
You're going with the under on this. Okay. You could see it. They're banged up on defense. The 49ers, the Eagles had no defense. So,
I mean, we were talking earlier. This is one of those games this fucking jerk-off team that I love will win to actually make the fans think that they're actually a team. These cocksuckers have got me so upset it's not funny. So they'll win a game like this week, then they'll lose next week against Monsignor Bonner.
Yeah, so
these motherfuckers.
So you're thinking that they
I'm
just show
the
up.
Eagles win. I just somehow they're going to fucking win.
But
They're gonna
betting wise,
actually
you're
look
probably
like a
taking the
team.
points if you're going to think that.
Yeah, I'm not going straight up. No.
I mean, if you really feel that strongly, if you're out there, plus 262 straight up for the Eagles to win. -7, yeah, I gotta go 49ers. I mean, the Eagles haven't really shown me anything. It's in San Francisco. They're traveling across the country. I gotta go 49ers with the points. I mean, if the Eagles are able to do that, I don't see that in their DNA this year, but you never know. So I'm gonna go with the 49ers here. Our last game, you're going with the under, you said? Or are you taking the points?
I'm going with the under.
Okay.
I just can't believe the total change in the next game. Atlanta and Green Bay. Green Bay's -7, and the current total is 56.5.
Which started out at 45.5.
What the fuck?
And the spread stayed at 7. That's got to be public money. Has to be public money.
What the fuck?
If you got on that 45.5 early, that's gold right there.
I'm
But
actually-
at 56.5,
I'm under.
I mean, 56.5, all right. I mean, they're both high-powered offenses. Falcons have talent on offense.
Falcons blow.
Yeah, but they score.
They lose.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter for the total.
That's true. I'm still going with the under.
You know what? I'm going to go with the over here. Balls of steel. I can see this being a 35-25 game.
Oh, and the other game doesn't count.
Right.
It's not being played.
Not being played this week. I'm going to go with the under on that. I'm joking. It's not being played, so they're definitely going to hit 47.
Yeah, agreed.
So that is all we have for you this week, folks. Pat, do you have any money line picks that you like? Any parlays you like? Upsets?
No.
All right. Well, I like the Broncos to win if you want to parlay tonight. But if you want to take the Bears with the points and you want to take the Texans with the points, I would like that better at -3. And I'm definitely taking
bad week this week.
Yeah, definitely taking the Seahawks. You could parlay those 3, cut it down to 2, makes it easier. Once you get above 3, it gets a lot harder to hit. Actually, above 2 gets a lot harder to hit a parlay. But that's all, folks, for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming in, Uncle Pat. Mike, thanks for being here. And this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.